Today we've got a quick review for you of the Aurzen Boom 3 here. This is a portable smart projector that you can pick up on a budget. This thing has a ton of great reviews on Amazon, so I wanted to check it out myself and just share my experience. It's feature packed and it's a smart projector, meaning that it's really easy to use. Anybody can pick it up and start going, and it has a ton of great features that you're probably going to use right away. I'd recommend this thing for somebody maybe just getting into projectors, or maybe somebody who wants something portable for travel. I know I love it for my kids, and you never know when you're going to need to maybe do a presentation or something, so it's going to have a few different good use cases. Do be aware that it does have its limitations being a budget product, but I think it's pretty darn good being an all-in-one, meaning that it's one of the only projectors, maybe the only, that has built-in audio. It actually has speakers built into this thing, so you plug it in and it's got everything you need to enjoy a movie or a show or whatever you want to watch, maybe play some video games. So yeah, it is definitely pretty great for somebody who might not be super technical or have a lot of expertise in terms of, you know, setting things up. It's got you covered in just about every regard. Let's look at the remote first. As you can see, it's kind of like your typical TV remote. It's got every button that you could ever want. It's got a Netflix, a YouTube, a Prime Video button. So once you're logged in, you press the button and you're up and running. You press the power button, it's gonna take a few seconds to power on. It's gonna project it onto your wall or onto your curtains or whatever you've got, the side of your trailer. And yeah, it's pretty much that easy. And it's got some amazing standout features that I absolutely love, like autofocus, which is fantastic. So wherever you are away from the wall, it's gonna actually do the focus for you. And there's even an auto keystone feature. So if it looks kind of wonky, it's gonna kind of do its best to figure that out. But if you do need to do it and adjust it yourself, you can even go in and really quickly and easily adjust that keystone, which is really cool. So it's not the brightest projector on the market, around 500 lumens. So you're gonna want a pretty dark space. A pitch black room is gonna be best, but honestly, if there's a little bit of ambient light, it's not that bad. So do keep that in mind, one of its limitations. I wouldn't be using this thing outside in the daylight. It's not gonna look very good. So if you are thinking about setting up a theater room and it's gonna be relatively dark, that's gonna be where you're gonna get your best performance out of it. But as far as overall performance, it does take in 4K signal, but it is a 1080 output, but you really wouldn't know it. It's really sharp, it's very vibrant, the colors are nice, as you can see here. And honestly, for what it is, it does it really well. So for a budget projector right out of the box with all these features, I think this thing is a slam dunk. But I will go into a little bit more of the features here, but just know that, yeah, this thing is an absolute win. And I think for the money, this is really hard to beat. So like I said, it does have audio kind of built in and included, which is nice. It doesn't sound too bad. It's not the best audio out there, but if you did want to actually use your own speakers or plug it into some bigger speakers, it does have Bluetooth functionality as well as an auxiliary port for you to connect to whatever you want to do. So that's nice. Audio, of course, is important, but if you want to just, you know, throw it on for the kids, it does have a nice speaker that you can easily control, built right in. So you can take the back panel off for increased audio quality, and no, it's not going to be audiophile levels, but I find myself getting quite immersed in whatever I'm watching. It has decent bass response, and all in all, I would much rather have it than not. So as you can see, the size is actually pretty good. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it all, so it's easily portable. And in terms of everything on it, it does have a little bit of a knob on top there for volume. And on the back, we've got our inputs, and it's pretty simple, to be honest. We've got a power cable, we've got an auxiliary audio port, we've got 2 USB cables, 2 HDMI cables, and a power button. And that's pretty much it. I really appreciate one feature on the bottom here, which does have a 1/4-20 mount. So one thing that I really would recommend to you if you are kind of wondering if you're gonna where and how you're gonna mount this thing, if you're gonna be kind of using this thing portably, I would really recommend you picking up a cheap tripod, something like this that kind of folds up and you can just throw it on there and move it about as you need. And that thing has been fantastic because if you don't have something like that, it can be a little bit tricky to kind of maneuver to get the perfect distance. Now using this thing at 100 inch or 120 inch I think is optimal. Of course, the bigger screen you make, well, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to get the most out of this. Of course, the clarity and the sharpness and even the brightness is gonna struggle as you go bigger, of course. That's just the limitations to it. And for ideal conditions, you're gonna wanna use this thing in a dark room. Definitely not going to be something you're using out in the daylight or bright sunlight. This is designed, like most projectors, to be used in a very dark room. And that's where it's going to thrive. So again, the image quality that you're getting is actually pretty darn good. The colors are vibrant, the sharpness is just fine. I actually have no problems in terms of the quality that you're getting out of this machine. Now, some projectors, especially cheaper projectors, can have a little bit of edge softness. Now, in my opinion, if you look at the softness in the corners here, it's actually pretty well controlled. I don't have any complaints in terms of this, so just note that it's really not going to suffer too badly way down in the corners. So finally, let's recap and talk about a few of the things that I absolutely love about this projector, and then a few things about where it falls short. Now, again, first of all, I love the ease of use of this thing. I think that it's just fantastic that anybody can pick it up and they're really not going to struggle to get this thing going. Right out of the box, it's just fantastic. It's responsive, it's got a great interface, it's easy to use, and it looks really, really good. Another thing is the quality. Like, what you get out of this thing for the price is fantastic. No, you can't expect miracles out of something in this price point, so if you're expecting the brightest projector in the world, well, you're just not going to find it. And that's kind of the first con, is if you're going to be using this thing in anything but a pretty dark room, you're going to have some degradation in quality, and of course it's not going to be as bright as you want it to be. That said, if you're going to be using this thing for family stuff, for the odd movie and kids and whatnot, this thing is just fantastic. I don't think we're going for professional series here anyways, but again, it does have a ton of features that you really wouldn't expect to find in something in this price point. I love the built-in audio, and I love the fact that you can use external audio if you want. I think that's really great. And probably my favorite feature of this is the autofocus and the auto keystone features that are built in. So you plug it in, you aim it at the wall, and it's gonna perfectly focus it and align it, and it just looks really good. To be honest with you, there's really not a lot of downsides that I found about this thing. I think that maybe if it came with maybe a little carrying case and maybe some kind of little adjustable tripod, that would have been cool, but it didn't. And again, I appreciate keeping the cost down, so you can't always win everything. Aiming this thing at a blank white wall is going to offer pretty decent performance, but for best results, you're going to probably want to invest in a little projector screen. Now that can be portable, or it can be one of those fold down ones that are going to be in a theater room. It's up to you. The sky's the limit. But just note for the most part that whatever you point this thing at is going to look pretty good in most situations. To avoid frustration and for best results, make sure that you're pointing the remote at the actual unit and not at the screen that it's projecting onto. It does take a little bit getting used to after coming from something like a TV, but just know, again, for the best speed and the best overall results, you're going to want to aim it at this thing. So wrapping up, guys, make sure you drop all of your questions and your comments down below. And yes, I do think this is a great product for the value. I think this is going to be kind of a slam dunk for families, for people that might not be needing a projector too often, or might do the odd presentation, or maybe likes to travel and just sometimes wants a big screen wherever you are. I think that it's kind of a really cool product. It's innovative, and I love the built-in audio as well. So if you didn't want to pick it up, make sure you check out the affiliate links down below, guys. Drop your questions and your comments. I'll be happy to answer anything that I can. Thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.